Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this video on the Libra full moon. So the full moon is happening on April 16th at 2:54 p.m. Eastern time. And there are many different energies at play with this full moon. In many ways, I see it as a transitional energy where we are reflecting on how far we have come these past few months, how we really are making progress toward where we desire to be. We are moving along on our new path. And at the same time, these energies really foreshadow what is to come in the months that are approaching. And we also have Venus as a very, very strong influence. It is the ruler of this full moon. So there is this energy of beauty, this desire to socialize and connect. And at the same time, there's this underlying feeling of intensity and even tension that can be there. So I'm going to dive into all of this. If you are new to me and my channel, a warm welcome. If you have been on this journey with me, a warm welcome. My name is Kara Melendi. I'm an Akashic astrologer and spiritual business mentor. So I study the planetary shifts, but I also work in the realm of the Akashic records. So it brings through even more guidance on how we can connect with these planetary energies in a way that aligns us to our highest timeline. I also guide spiritual entrepreneurs in expanding their business through co-creating with cosmic intelligence. So if this resonates with you, be sure that you subscribe. I would love to support your journey. So before I pull up the chart for the full moon and I share with you the main energies at play here, I want to give a little context and backdrop. And there is one cosmic alignment in particular I really want to touch on that's very significant right now. And this is the meetup between Neptune and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. So they're both in their home signs. They are conjunct, and this is a very rare meetup and yet very powerful. So if we look at the energy of Jupiter, it's about expansion, it's about abundance, it's about wisdom and freedom. So where we take our knowledge and our experiences, and when we have integrated them and we allow them to transform us, to bring us into further levels of love, when we really embody the wisdom from life experiences, and that's what Jupiter really embodies. It's definitely that expansive energy. It doesn't really know much about moderation. And then if we look at Neptune, Neptune is a higher octave of Venus. So very connected to beauty, but the beauty that comes from knowing we are connected with source energy, knowing that infinite intelligence flows throughout every cell of our being. There's like an awe to that. There's a wonder to that. There's a beauty to that. So Neptune really connects us into higher realms of consciousness. It connects us to our higher self. So these energies coming together and sextiling the North Node, this is about the ascension that's happening on the planet, the elevation into higher realms of consciousness, and how important it is for each of us to be a living embodiment of that. To not get caught into the illusion of fear, to not get pulled into the overwhelm and confusion, because that can be the lower octave of this energy where it feels really confusing. We don't know what information to trust. We feel like things are blown way out of proportion. This energy, kind of like we're walking through a fog. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what to trust. But honestly, if we come back to our soul's truth, we are guided. If we come back to our internal compass, we are guided. And that's why I really see this as a beautiful alignment. I know some astrologers are painting another picture of it, but I see it as supporting the ascension that's happening here on the planet and an invitation to move further into the energy of love and away from fear, and to actually ground that in, especially with the North Node in Taurus. This is about, let's embody it. Let's get really grounded here. Let's take it from just an ethereal concept into living with love, moving with love, seeing love as a verb, taking action from that place, because the more that we do that, we will change the planet. And the more light workers and healers that are embodying that and stepping into the power, their power, the more we're seeing the shift taking place. So I'm going to pull up my screen here so we can dive deeper into these chart energies here, but I just felt it was important to comment on that. There we go. All right, so here is the full moon chart. We have the highlight here, the moon in Libra, and it is at 26 degrees opposite the sun in Aries at 26 degrees. So I want to begin by looking at the Libra energy. A moon in Libra desires harmony. It wants peace. It doesn't want to create conflict. It wants everybody to get along, have a good time, to kind of foster this element of joy. There's like a lightness to this energy of, well, let's play, let's have fun. Now, opposite this moon is the sun in Aries, which is all about the self. So in astrology, opposite signs embody opposite characteristics, but we see how they very much play together. So where Libra is all about relationships and connection, Aries is all about the self. It is the fearless leader moving forward despite any obstacles, despite any fears, cultivating a sense of independence. So relationships really come into focus here as well. The relationship we have with ourselves, as well as the relationship we have with others. That's very much what this Libra Aries axis is all about. And there is a sense of, are you comfortable just being on your own? Do you love your own company? That is so important. And there's so many aspects of, we have to release the labels and projections that other people have placed on us and come back to knowing who we are beyond all of that. And at the same time, are you comfortable in relationships? That's the Libra energy. There's so much we can figure out on our own by going in and stripping away the layers, but there is also an element of ourself, a huge element that is only discovered through relationships, through our connections with other people, through knowing what triggers us, what we dislike, what gets us angry, what lights us up, what inspires us, what we admire in other people. It's through those connections we gain deeper insight into who we are, what we desire to achieve and create. So part of this full moon energy is exploring that. What is your relationship like with the people around you? Are you opening up? Are you allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be seen, to connect? What is your relationship like with yourself? Are you comfortable with being alone and not defining yourself through the eyes of other people? It gets very confusing when that happens. And that can be the shadow side of this Libra moon here. Is codependency, and codependency can happen in our business with relationships with our mentors, our coaches, our clients as well. So we have to be really aware that we are taking ownership for how we show up. We are responsible for that, not allowing other people to determine how we feel. So it can be a losing of the self at times where we put other people's needs above our own, to the sense that we've kind of lost our identity. So these are some of the themes that can really be useful in exploring around this full moon energy. Now, what really takes it to a whole new level is the square that's happening with Pluto here. Pluto is squaring the moon. That red line here signifies a square. It is also squaring the sun in Aries. Now, this changes the game. So this is where the underlying intensity and even this point of tension can feel like it's there with this full moon. So the Libra moon in and of itself wants to keep it light and fun. And then Pluto is like an element of depth that is there. So this could be power struggles in relationships, but the message I'm getting from the records that I encourage you to more lean into with this is being in your power in relationships, but a power that is very rooted and grounded in love. So maybe in the past, you noticed that you would go into people-pleasing mode around other people, or you would place this need and desire to be liked above all else. And this Pluto energy here is like, you're going to notice where those patterns are still in play, and you're going to take yourself back into like, wait a second, I don't have to go into these old patterns. I don't have to go into this old dynamic. I can show up in a different way. What I like to call as well a frequency keeper. Many light workers and healers, if not all of us, we have a gift for reading energy, for entering a room and instantly reading the tone of the room. instantly reading the mood of the room. And when we're not fully grounded and embodied, perhaps taking that unhelpful energy on and trying to transmute it through our body instead of being the frequency keeper of like, wait a second, I stay connected to my higher self. I stay anchored into the energy of love, and I energetically invite others to join me there, to meet me there. You're in a new place of being able to do that with this full moon, and it's really powerful. So there is this surface energy of love and joy, and let's have fun, let's appreciate the beauty, a very creative energy, but this underlying awareness of how you have transformed, how you are more in your power than ever before. I also see this square formation between Pluto here and the moon as being at a new level of personal alchemy, knowing how to transmute emotions, knowing how to work with energy in a whole new way. And having an awareness of that, like, oh, wow, look how far I've come. This is amazing. That's an awesome energy. Now, the square formation with the sun in Aries is about this new identity that you have been playing in, that you have been stepping into these past few months, and really seeing how you have transformed and giving yourself credit for that, and really, take time to reflect on that. And since the full moon always supports us in releasing and letting go, there is an element of what else needs to be released. What other pattern or idea or belief am I still entertaining that I have to let go of to fully step into this new chapter of my life? Pluto's very much that transformation, that awareness of our subconscious patterns and programs. So I hope you're getting a feel here of how fascinating this energy is here, and how much transformation can be happening at this full moon under the surface, while still feeling like, yeah, we're just having like a really good, beautiful time as well, because it is ruled by Venus. And we're going to go more into that as well. I'm even going to jump into that now. So Venus here is in the sign of Pisces. Venus is the ruler of this full moon. So it is about love and peace and harmony and creativity. So creative outlets at the time of this full moon are so powerful. Like, paint something, express your emotions in a really creative way, write something. And this maybe saying like, no, I'm not a painter, no, I'm not a writer. We can all paint, and most of us can paint and write. It doesn't mean we have to excel at this, but it's a beautiful form of expression that could be really helpful in this energy. Now, Venus is also exalted in Pisces, so Venus is in a very beautiful position here as the goddess of love and beauty and pleasure. And over the next month, it is going to move closer to this conjunction between Neptune and Jupiter here that I spoke about, which is that elevation of consciousness. And Neptune being the higher octave of Venus, like, there is this awe and beauty and wonder that we can sink into. And, it's a new level of creating when we're in that space, when we are in that energy of, wow, all is possible. Now, Venus is also interacting here with Mercury and Uranus, which are conjunct in the sign of Taurus. So this is also quite significant here, because Mercury conjunct Uranus can be that expansion into new possibilities, that expansion into new ideas that really was activated with the Aries new moon, that is now really coming into new levels of fruition with this full moon of, wow, all is possible for me. I live in a realm of infinite possibility. But in order for me to take things from a possibility into a probability, into a manifested reality, I have to become the master of my energy. Meaning I have to detach from the labels and programs and beliefs that don't serve me, and know how to align with the frequency of what I desire to call in. We have a new understanding of that with this full moon. Now, this can also play out because there's like a surface level to this full moon, and then there's like an underlying current. So the surface level is that connection and that socializing, where we may even be shocked at what someone says. We're like, wow, did someone just say that? Did someone just suddenly suddenly change those plans. Like Uranus always adds an element of shock, of disruption, higher octave awakening. But with Venus there in Pisces, it's like, if the intentions are good, people will feel that. And that's so important. It really isn't just what we are saying, it's how we are saying it. People feel that. Like, sometimes we stress so much over needing to find the exact words when so much of it is the intent behind it. And with Venus here, I feel like the conversations that are happening are very well intended. It doesn't mean we're not going to disagree, that some of it isn't going to be shocking, but there is an intent there for the most part that is really good. And just that reminder too, to come back to that energy of love, to speak from the energy of love, to recognize the power that your words do hold. And when I say that, not just the words, but your intent, your energy, how you say it, it all matters. And we're very aware of that energy there. Now, the other aspect I want to look at is Saturn. Saturn is also coming into the mix here in the sign of Aquarius. It's forming a trine here with the moon in the sign of Libra. So very significant. Also a sextile here with the sun in Aries. So Saturn's playing a role here. Also, before I get more into that, there is a significance that these energies, a lot of these energies here, the sun and the moon and Saturn, are cardinal energies. And this is about initiation. This is about moving forward. So there really is still this momentum that's building. I mean, Mercury's moving so quickly right now as well. Like, feel into this momentum, allow it to carry you forward, allow it to carry your new ideas forward. This really isn't an energy of just let me sit and wait and see. It's like, let me figure this out as I move along. What if I'm more ready than I thought? And that action brings about clarity too. And that's the cardinal energy. Anyone that has a lot of cardinal energy in their chart tends to be the initiator of new things. They don't just like to talk about ideas. They're like, all right, let's take this, let's create a plan, let's go, let's move forward. So Saturn here interacting with both the sun and the moon does signify an element of work. When Saturn comes in, it is a sense of, how I see this as well is this recognition of how far you have come on your journey, even over the course of these past few months, but that there is still, there's still a ways to go. Like Saturn is suggesting like, hey, stay focused though, stay focused, stay in your lane. You're making progress, but let's continue to build a really solid foundation to support your success, to support your growth. Let's stay focused here. Let's stay disciplined. Let's stay on track. Isn't Saturn fun to work with? Not always the most exciting planet, but it certainly helps us create the success we desire. And I'm all for soul aligned success. And I feel that coming in really strongly from the records, just to bring that through as well. This isn't success in terms of what society says is successful. That's not what I'm meaning. This is about your definition of success. Are you aligned with your path and purpose? Are you happy at the end of the day that you are on track? It doesn't mean there's not challenges or difficulties, but at the end of the day, are you proud of how you are showing up? And if not, you can always make changes. And Saturn reminds us of that as well, which is why it can bring in some challenging lessons, but it's very well aspected here. Like, it's not harshly aspected. So I don't feel like this is going to be like, oh, there's so much more work. It's more like, wow, I've got this. I can do this. I'm supported. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm leaning into my edge. And there is like an excitement here of what's happening too. Now, I really do want to share as well. I mean, this stellium in Pisces is significant, and where Venus is the ruler of this energy, lean in and allow yourself to expand through joy and through pleasure as well. While you're doing that shadow work, that deeper work, remember that life is also meant to feel fun. I'm going to stop the share here because we went over the main aspects. Life is also meant to feel good. And yes, we can grow through struggle and hardship. And it's important that we do that. Those experiences aren't wasted, that we find the lesson and the gift within it. And also we can grow through joy. And that's an elevation in consciousness to recognize that and to continue to choose that as a way of expanding here on planet Earth, that it can be through love as well. Like, there's another way to grow. All right, share with me below your takeaways. What are you celebrating in this full moon energy? Full moons are amplifiers. That also means celebration. What are you releasing in this energy? I also have a full moon ceremony coming up for my inner circle. We do new and full moon ceremonies. We do Akashic record journeys. I help you master manifestation by working with cosmic intelligence. So I will attach the link below to that. This ceremony coming up on Thursday is going to be so powerful. There's always a replay as well. And this is more in this space, this is experiential. So I bring you into the records. I guide you through a journey of connecting to this energy. I call in healing in that space, activations in that space. And everyone in the group gets to submit their requests as well for what they are releasing, what they are celebrating, what they are stepping into, and what they're wanting to support. And I bring that, what they're wanting support with, and I bring that into the ceremony as well. So I would love to see you there. Sending you all so much love and light, and I will see you very soon. Bye.